how to grow your business if you run charters, events, uh, bookings, and so forth for your brand. So let's use this company, Fin and Fly. They run obviously where you can book a excursion or fishing and so forth. So let's just look at their website. Has a phone number right up front. Has ability to book now. You can scroll down. Has a bunch of reviews, which is really good. Before and after photos is how you sell a lot of these types of businesses. So more of that is very beneficial. So on their social media, people are going to check this stuff out and they're going to look, what are the reviews, before and after photos, what they caught. Like obviously everybody wants to hear that story or see that story on what they do. So that's good. How much is the engagement happening here? And then let's see on their other channels, Instagram as well, 10.3. So it's good. Again, a lot of before and after photos. I'm not sure what this whole Bitcoin thing is. Events, I'm sure they have a link tree to bookings, apparel, all stuff. Again, I'd put bookings the first thing if that's their goal. What's their predominant money maker on those things? Coming back here. Social media really tells a story, so let's check out their YouTube on here. One thing that I don't get with a lot of businesses, this is an easy business to grow. Their YouTube channel, their social media, all stuff, because they're doing events all the time. If you have a simple waiver where everybody's in these things, they should have mass amounts of videos. Take a GoPro, hook it to your employees, have it record all the day, send it out to a VA in the Philippines for low dollar amount, and get them to highlight and post content and really drive your brand. You could have a big YouTube channel, big social media accounts, all stuff. If you guys need help with VAs, feel free to reach out. We set this up. We build systems in place for companies, and we hire the people in that to run that entire system so they can generate more business, grow their social media, all that. Social media is like a popularity contest. The more views, the more clicks, the more things, people believe that you're more credible, right? Obviously on TikTok, you guys are doing much better. A lot more engagement on there. Obviously a lot more shorter content. So it's good. I don't see why you don't repost some of this on your YouTube, that stuff. And if you're too busy, like I said, that's where you want to hire out like a VA. Somebody can do it for you. But let's just go back to the business and let's talk about just a direct sale. When somebody comes to your website, you obviously want people to book. You have this big button here, these buttons here on there. Your SEO, actually, I'm not going to do a deep dive into it, but you have a lot of things here from different pages. They are starting to frown upon all these different pages like this, but it's still content. People come up, so on that. So when they come into booking, so for example, if I run an ad on Google and I do fish charter, whatever, Florida, I come in here. One big thing about this bookpeak.com, not a huge fan of the site because it goes from like a really clean looking website, very user friendly, easy to click, and then I want to book, and then it gives me just this mess of a site that's not very pretty, not very user friendly. It's like July 5th, select dates. It's not really clear. Don't love it. I would love to do a heat mapping software. So what is it? Hotjar. You can do this software. It's a free software. It's a great software. Add this to your website, sign in, track what people are using or doing, so you can track to see. Obviously, it's hard because you're sending to a third-party website. I did look at peakboo.com. It does look like you can put some code on it, some Google Tag ID on it, on this, like book peak. Can you add Google Tag Manager, analytics, or tracking pixels to this? So obviously I'm not logged in. I don't have an account with Peak, so an AI is not always perfect, but it looks like, yes, you can add Google Tag Manager, analytics, and tracking pixels directly. I don't know what that Boku account. So Book Peak, I don't know why is that. Let's see if that's better. Tag Manager, let's just try bookpeak.com and type correctly here. So it says Tag Manager Peak Pro booking flows. Yes, you can add Google Tag Manager. If you can add Google Tag Manager, then you should be solid. So then, of course, running ads and telling the story of when people book. Obviously, they click here. I don't know if you can have a custom thank you page as well. You can set it up that way. That's weird. I click here. It doesn't allow me to click, so that's not good. Obviously, it's July 5th, so it's already past that date. It'd be nice if that was grayed out. It's probably too late to do, but let's just do this. 9 a.m. here. $600. I can fill in my last name. I hit continue. I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to want to book. So once we know this, then we can set up those pixels. We can track it. So if we're running, for example, Google Ads, let's say I'm just in a dummy account here, and I'm just going to create a campaign. I go to a new campaign, sales leads, website traffic. Obviously, initially, you probably want to do website traffic because you've got to get that algorithm built up. But next, you want to do a sales. You want to track that actual conversion once it's set up in here. Performance Max is really popular these days. I love basic search. I love being in control, all that stuff. You want phone calls, store visits. Obviously, you want purchases in here. You can select that. But let's just go website visits. You can type in, obviously, let's go back to the charter page in here. Come in here. So hit continue. Set this up, fin and fly, fly, campaign name, hit continue. So I'm just gonna go through basic things. So obviously conversions, we wanna set conversions. Initially, we probably wanna set for clicks, because if you just go conversions, if Google has no data, or Facebook for that matter, or any other platform, it's gonna be hard to get that. Only bid for new customers. This stuff is more advanced. You want to do this later on. We want to do obviously more conversion values, get a ROAS, all that. But for right now, let's just keep it simple. Clicks, hit next. Big thing with network, obviously you're in Florida, so you want to target people regularly in or who have interest, including in locations, because people are traveling in, right? English is here. Audience segments, can I say that correctly? So in here, you can look at people that are into who they are. So we can look at parental status, employment. You know, you should know your demographics. Are they into fishing? Obviously in here, sports and fitness, you know, health, sports. Are they into traveling? So those things would be something that you might want to select. So as you dial that down, I would like to keep it as broad as possible initially, and then just go to the next. You can get AI, text customization, all that stuff. So let's just hit next. That's fine. Let's just hit skip for now. Keywords, let's just go ad strength, search term matching, brand inclusions. We're just gonna fly through this real quick. We're just gonna let it self-populate because I don't want to actually do that. Daily budget, let's just say $20 to start. Confirm, right? Like I gotta go through this process. Okay, now once I'm through that process, I can set this. Campaign is ready to publish. I'm just going to go through a few things that you want to look at and dive into from a search ad standpoint. Obviously with Meta, that's a totally different way. There's really cool features you can do with Meta where you can search by people traveling to destinations. You can focus on that specific destination. So all that stuff. Right now on search, we did set just United States. We want to change that to Florida and a handful of other things. But let's wait while this loads. Okay, now that's set up. We want to just hit publish campaign, get that going. Obviously, we're not going to spend any money for this. Why promote another business? So I'm going to turn it off real quick. But once it's up, I can show you. It takes a while to load. Now it's asking me to install the code or install in WordPress. We don't even want to do that. Okay, now we're into the campaign itself. So we're going to just click on it, go in Fin and Fly, check the things out. So these are some things you really want to look at and dive into. Obviously, it hasn't been running. Insight reporting is really valuable because you can show where ads are being searched, when ads are shown, where ads are shown, match locations. you can make adjustments here to tweak that. And this is why people hire me and other agencies to actually improve ads to lower the ROI, make it more efficient, clean up all the junk because you have devices. This is something you want to look at to adjust when ads are shown, where ads are shown, match locations, big things you want to go to right off the bat that you want to double check always is, right off the bat, we already know we don't want United States. This business is in Florida. So Florida, we want to do include Florida. So this is the state of Florida, right? So we might not want just the state. Let's get rid of US. Obviously, this is located in Cocoa Beach fishing charters. So Florida fishing charters, let's see. Let's just say they're only in Cocoa Beach here. Cocoa Beach. So let's come back into here. Let's go Cocoa Beach, Florida. Okay, so let's just include that. We can also do a radius around the business location where you guys do charters. So now it's very specific to this, and maybe we want to enlarge that area, right? Maybe we don't want just this small because you do service more people. Obviously, these are people in this area, but let's just say they're really focused. The larger the net you cast, the better, the more results you're going to get. But sometimes you'll get a lot of bad results the larger the net you cast. But it's easier to, if you have enough funds, it's easier to improve that over time. That's why somebody manages your Google Ads account. So they're constantly improving that, dialing it in. And so the bigger net to dial in is much easier than trying to do a small net and then slowly grow it. So that's a big thing to notice. You want to do that. You also might want to run exclusions, locations of interest. So in there we have that. Oh, I actually forgot to save it. You got to be, so include. Always have to hit save down here at the bottom. So now we're only targeting Cocoa Beach. We are targeting, right, in that settings, we are targeting people around and in that area. One tip in settings you should always probably do, search network, turn it off, turn it off. Google will tell you to do these, but they're just blowing your money. So never recommend that. So that's a good thing to always double check. So now we want to go into audiences. Now let's say, I would assume this business, right, predominantly deals with men, and I'm assuming it would only book predominantly men. Who knows? Maybe females book. So if females are not your audience, we just exclude that from that list. I'm not sure exactly. I'm just making recommendations. This is not a and then from an income standpoint, you can select top 10%, lower 50%. Obviously, people who have in the lower 50% might be able to not afford your services. So again, we can exclude that. We can also go into add audience selections from a campaign standpoint and really narrow it down here from like fishing, right? Is there anything related to equipment? So fishing, sporting, hiking, trips to Key West, trips to Miami, right? So all these things you can go through and fine tune your audience and then know what's coming from. There's also the browse feature where it's like the who they are, parental status, marital status, etc. What interests them, hobbies, what are they actively researching or planning, how have they interacted with your businesses. That's obviously over time. When you can do a customer list, you can upload your customer list and do that. You can also dump that on Meta or Facebook, whatever you want to call it these days. Another thing is ad schedule. You can dive in. If people search your business on specific times and they only do the bookings on, Friday nights or something, you can really dial that in and improve that. But this is the basic stuff to get started. Obviously, you have your keywords. You want to put in really good keywords, your charters, and then keep an eye on that. Things about broad and phrase match, these things are really important. I recommend researching that so you know which one to do that. You could be blowing tons of money if you're doing broad. Phrase is a little more specific, and exact is obviously a lot more specific. Adding assets is really important to improve your Google campaign. Over time, your Google will recommend how to improve it, but adding a business name, a logo, site links, headlines, call outs, having your phone number on there. You can do a lead form or messages, adding your location. All those things will help drive and improve your listing, which, remember, Google is a auction-based site, but it wants good quality results. So just because you're spending the most money on your keywords does not mean you'll get the top position, and doesn't mean you're going to do as well as somebody who may be spending less for that keyword, but has a more optimized strategy with their account. Like I said, over time with recommendations, there's, all those things that you can set up to be more efficient. I'm just kind of doing a real quick overview. Over time, you want to look at all these things from your search term. You want to run your reporting to see what's working, what's not working. You want to make sure your conversions is tracking. So let's say I book an appointment and I fill it all out and I pay. I want to see either in my Google Analytics or within my Google Ads account itself that it's showing a conversion, and I'm tracking and working only to get conversions. And I know if I spend $1,000 and somebody books, or I get 5 bookings at, $500 each, I just made, $2,500. So every $1,000 spent, I made $2,500. Obviously, you have to calculate your cost, the trip, the gas with this type of service, and goes in there. And, like I said, one thing I'm not a huge fan of is this booking page. I think it's not as clean as it could be, but whatever, maybe it's cheap, it's inexpensive, maybe you love it, all that stuff. I would make sure when you run ads and set this up on Google or on Facebook, you're able to track those pixels and fire it. You can see here, that's actually wrong one here. You can see on this, the tag assistant is being blocked. So I'm not sure if you have Google tags installed. Whereas the meta one, you do have the meta pixel installed here. So that's good at least. I don't believe you're running Facebook ads. Real quick, to see if people are running Facebook ads, you can just type in Facebook, ad library, come in here, go to ad library, come in here, scroll down, check their page out, Fin and Charters, and doing a diverse strategy where you're running different types of ads, where you're running Facebook ads as well as, so here's Facebook ad library, just go all ads. You can just type in their business, Fin and Charters, so you can see it actually pops up. Fin and Charters, they're not currently running ads. We can go to active ads. They've ever run ads in here. So it doesn't look like they're running any ads or they have ever run ads. Facebook is a very great way to run ads as well. Search is also great because obviously search is what they're typing in. They're typically looking for a charter on that, and so they're going to come and purchase. Or where Facebook is, you can win them over, get them to convert, get them engaged in first, and you can track to see if they're traveling as well to those locations. So both strategies are really good. Even TikTok, because you have a lot of TikTok going on. You can do retargeting ads. You can run things to really engage people. So if they come to your site, you can re-engage with them on that. But I would recommend highly just running good quality search ads, and that would drive a lot more sales. Obviously, diving into this service here, this bookpeak.com, making sure you can put your pixels on it, tracking all those details, setting all that stuff up to have the analytics and have the data. So when you run ads, you're going to see what you're spending is getting the ROI that you want, and you can fine tune it from there, from locations to, search terms to devices to audiences to all those things, and then some. Right? I'm missing a bunch that I'm pulling. I can't pull from the top of my head, but you got audiences, you got keywords, you got, obviously your ads themselves, are you optimizing those, looking at that data to see, are people clicking on this ad versus that ad, what headline, what descriptions are better, and really utilizing the algorithm of Google Ads or Meta or TikTok or, wherever that may be. But that's how I would help grow a business. And I would start with just, you don't have to spend a ton of money to get going, but you have to manage that account effectively, because people blow through cash and they don't get results. They don't have conversion stuff set up correctly. and they're spending money and they're not actually seeing results, or they're just running the wrong campaigns. They're just getting a ton of clicks to their site and it's not converting because you set it up to just get clicks. Google's going to do what it's told to do. Same with Meta, TikTok, all those platforms. If you can set it up where you're making a stair step improve it. Yes, you need clicks to your website. But if nobody's actually clicking on these things and you find that out by a Hotjar or Google Analytics and having that installed, you're going to know like, oh, great, I need to fix this. If I fix this, now they're going to go to step 2, which is the book now page. Okay, they're on this page, but now they're, not going to step, 3, as in filling that form out. They're making more phone calls. How do I solve that problem or that challenge as opposed to just having them call? Maybe I need a chat bot. So each level of progression is how you look at a brand and grow a brand and make that stair step approach on like, I improved this. Now are they going to the next stage? Okay, I got rid of these variables. Now are they going to this next stage? I hope this was helpful. A lot of information here. Hopefully it didn't overwhelm anybody. But this is how I would promote and grow this brand, or any brand related to, something that you're running sales to, you want to purchase and improve that CAC, customer acquisition costs, all that stuff. And the ROAS, return on investment ad spend, all that great stuff. But, like I said, hopefully this was helpful. And Finnan Flight Charters, you can learn some things from this. If you guys need help with Google Ads, Meta, running ads, strategy, growing your brand, running your business more effectively, feel free to reach out. Happy to help. Provide strategy on help consult a lot of companies grow their brand. All right. Hope this was helpful. Wish you guys all the best and take care. Bye.